one of the big benefits is that ability to track exactly the same data points, but over a series of time and understanding the different things that are happening within the team over a period of time. And value and packaging, that we're like our pricing March to June's probably our most intensive period of work. But the simple reality, I think, nowadays is, and AT and Sam will attest to this, it's not like the pressure valve comes off completely at REA, like it's almost always on. So I think the benefit's actually more us now tracking over the period of the entire 12 months. How are our team genuinely feeling from a work and life perspective? And being able to then tap in at the right moments and ask those questions and get more curious. And the consistency of the approach helps as well in that respect. I think, look, like at a macro view as well, just quite simply, when you're consistently using a tool like this in every week as part of your rhythms and rituals with your team, it just shows that you're listening and you're curious and you want to know how people are feeling. And the single biggest opportunity of that, without jumping too far ahead, is how we circle back then and drill in a bit more and share the results back with the team. I think, like, if I think about myself in terms of a meaningful impact as a leader through value and packaging last year for the first time, there were times when I would look at this data and share, Sam, Sue and I'd look at this together, and it actually gave me an incredible amount of confidence in the team's ability to deliver what was left. So when we came back after April or Easter, I think, Sam, you mentioned, like, we saw that spike and it went upwards in the team, and we'd encouraged everyone to take a week off. The task ahead of us for the next 2 months was pretty monumental, and a lot of people didn't think we were going to achieve it. This data point actually gave me a lot of confidence that the team were in the right place to deliver. So now we just had to almost equip them through our coaching and our ability to just continue to motivate them that they were going to get there. And towards the end of the race, when we saw that we were really close to the finish line and people were starting to run on empty, this was, again, another mechanism for us to just tap in and make sure they were taking a little bit of time to take those breaks and use the recharge leave that we provide to our teams to be able to get to that final sort of hurdle and achieve what they did. So, yeah, I think they're probably the couple of things: listening and curiosity, longitudinally understanding how the team are, and then it gave me a lot of confidence as a leader that the team were in the right place to be able to deliver.
If we noticed a bigger downward trend 1 week after another, what I did as a leader was I got really curious with my team to what had caused that. And what it uncovered was just a variety of different roadblocks. And if we could then solve those roadblocks, we did. The trend was still down during value and packaging, but it would come back up a little bit. So it helped identify roadblocks. Also, in the sales environment that we were, if the energy was high, it means we could push a little bit harder. But if the energy was a little bit low, I probably flicked into a bit more of an empathetic leadership style as opposed to really pushing. So yeah, they're just my two add-ons to what Lofty said.
No, good recaps there from Lofty and Sam. Probably a preface, this was our first time of going to value and packaging as a hive model. So we'd never tested this before. Previously, it was a one-person race. You had to go and do everything. So now having to play with others, so to speak, or think of others' diaries or timings and who's doing what and all those sorts of things, it's a very different world from being a 100-metre runner to now running a 4x100 relay. You can't run the whole lap with the baton yourself. And some of the team found out that through the journey was like, holy hell, I've hit the 300 mark and the rest of the race is passing me by because they've got fresh runners at every interval. I don't know why I've gone with the sprinting one, but I'm hanging with it.
I love it.
Yeah, Adrian will love it.
I think it holds us in a much better stead for next year's going, how do you run the first 100 and give over the baton at the best peak of your speed to let the next person do their part, the next person do their part and their part from there on. So I think that was definitely something that came through was that, first time with the hive. We had with the Benny Button side of things from us, it was a very humanistic approach. So it was genuine visibility that we gave a shit is the best way to put it, that we actually care. Because you can talk about health and well-being, but actually making it first and front of mind that we actually care. And then those conversations that led it into, we care, we understand, we want to know what's causing these triggers. They really saw that hey, it's not just a theme, it's actually my leaders want to understand it. It opened up those discussions as to what needs to change here to stop this score going the way it is? What's causing this to actually occur? What's in your control that you can change or be a part of helping this score actually change? So those sorts of things, and I called it here, was finding your new balance, score to score, which is what do you need to let go of? Because a lot of the team hung on to everything, and we told them if you try to do everything in the new hive world, you will drown faster. And some of them had to, unfortunately, get pretty deep under the water to realise I can't do every leg of the 4x100. But focus on what's in your control, small steps. We're not looking to go from this score to this score overnight, but in the next week, what can you do that's in your control that will help your health and well-being, find your balance? We know we're busy. We acknowledge we're busy. We're flat out in V&P, but you can certainly take some weight off your shoulders. And then the other I took from the scores when looking at my team, as though some of the scores will come up, is recognising that not everyone's at the same level. I know it's a roundup of the scores, but while it might be saying in that bottom one that, hey, we're 77 on work performance and green, I could have one person that could be in the red there that's, the other scores are really high and there's a red. So don't just assume that everyone in the group. So that's that personal check-in as well, is that I would say to the team is, do those scores reflect you? Or do you feel you're a little bit different in those? And some would open up, others would like, yep, no, I'm pretty comfortable there. But just that next layer of personal check-in as well, because it's easier to sit here and look at that bottom chart and go, yeah, killing it. But actually, you've got someone that's actually really, really suffering.